Hi guys, welcome to Daddy and the Don. It's week 8 in the English Premier League, and obviously there have been some postponements and there's not as many games this week. We missed last week's round of fixtures, obviously due to the very sad news around the Queen's passing, but all the games that are going ahead we will give you a score prediction from. So before we get started with those, please like, subscribe and leave a comment. Aston Villa versus Southampton, and this one is a real mess as far as I'm concerned. Where to start, how to pick a winner, anything could happen in this game. And just starting with Aston Villa, just really underwhelmed me this season. Gone backwards under Gerrard. I was expecting big things when he got made manager last year, and he hasn't lived up to my expectations, and probably let alone the fans and the board. Southampton, they are Jekyll and Hyde. 1 week they can be amazing, another week they can look in dire straits. So this is going to be who turns up on the day is going to get this one. But for me, I'm not going to be able to split them. I'm going to have to do a Mia. I'm going to have to go straight down the middle on this one. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Nottingham Forest versus Fulham, two newly promoted teams going at it. And I've been very impressed with both of them so far. Different reasons. Fulham look like a different Fulham this time round. They don't look as weak going forward and as insecure at the back. They look like they can dig in, they can see goals out, and Mitrovic is banging the goals in, which he didn't do last time they were in the Prem. Obviously playing a bit more to his strengths, like what Marco Silva's doing. Long may it continue. Nottingham Forest, I wasn't too sure. They've signed a hell of a lot of players, overpaid in wages for some of them, especially Jesse Lingard. I think it's a case of like too many cooks on there, but they are getting points, and I do like the manager. I do really like Cooper. I think this one could be a bit of a surprise, and I think the week off might have actually benefited them to get these players to gel. And I think Nottingham Forest can nick this one 1-0.
Wolves versus Man City, Premier League, week 8. Obviously, week 7 has been postponed for now due to unfortunate events. But we are back with week 8, and it's Wolves facing Man City, who are the champions and probably the champions-elect again. But they haven't been as good away from home when it comes result-wise. And Wolves are a decent side. I think they improved near the end of the window to have a better chance of being the top, mid-table, top half of the table. And I think this will be a difficult game for Man City. Anyone at home, Man City will win probably by 3 or 4 goals, apart from maybe the top 3 or 4 teams. Away from home, they'll still fancy to win, and they will win most games. But it won't be easy. Wolves are a better side than what people give credit for now, and I think they will push them, though they struggle to score, and that will probably be the problem. I think Man City win this one. I'm going to say 1-0. Newcastle versus Bournemouth. Newcastle have had a fantastic start this season, but they've won 1 game. So they really haven't. Against Bournemouth, who had an awful start to the season, but they've won more games. Figure that one out. People are going to say Newcastle here because they're at home. Not me. I think this could be an upset. Even though I think Bournemouth will go down, I think they're going to still get a few good little away wins. I think the home form's what's going to let them down. I think they play better away from home against the teams that are not in the top 6 or top 7. And Newcastle are not one of them teams. They're still a mid-table side. Though they'll have a decent season, they're going to get upset here. They need to realise that they're not actually that well. They've won 1 game. So let's not get carried away, especially if their 2 best players ain't playing. Go for an upset. Come on, let's all stop backing favourites. 1-0 Bournemouth.
Right, so Tottenham versus Leicester. Tottenham, they've had quite a good start to the season. They're 2 places behind their rivals Arsenal, but Leicester, they're bottom of the table, and they've just lost 5-2 to Brighton. So it is kind of an easy game to predict. Leicester are going to cause a few problems, but I think that Tottenham are going to win. I think they're going to win 2-1.
One of the games of this weekend still going ahead is Brentford v Arsenal. I think it's a very good game on paper. Arsenal have just come off a 3-1 defeat at Man United. Granted, they did play very well. Brentford have actually picked up some good results of recently. The last game being a good result against Leeds United. And they're showing quite good, formidable form, especially at home. And they've got an informed striker, even Tony. It's a tough place to go to and win. Arsenal are around the top of the table, they're league leaders. Yes, there's only a few games in. But this game is a really, really good game as a neutral to watch. And for that case, I can't split them. Brentford, especially being at home, it's going to be tough for Arsenal to go and get the 3 points, but I still believe they're going to make an account for themselves. And I'm going to be sitting on the fence for this one. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Ivan Toney will open up the scoring for Brentford, and Martinelli will equalise mid-second half, and the game will be on its even. So the final score will be Brentford 1, Arsenal 1.
Everton v West Ham. This is an interesting game. I've seen Everton play this season already, and to be honest, they are a decent side, but they're struggling to get a win. West Ham have definitely been underwhelming so far, but have made some good signings, and I expect them to improve. So this game could go either way, and I'm expecting a tight, potentially boring game. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here.